Thank you.
All right, don't say anything obscene. All right. Lori's
Try not
gonna
to.
find out. So, we just walked through our debt to income ratio. We walked through our credit. Now we're just gonna walk through what that monthly payment would look like. So at a loan amount of 350, and again, interest rates are going to fluctuate quite a bit between now and when you guys are ready for the permanent loan. But just sticking in 6.5, which is about average right now,
Yeah.
and going off of a 30-year loan, we can do shorter terms. Just the payment's going to increase because
Mhm.
you're smushing in how much time to pay that off over.
Right.
And then with 12 payments a year, it's a total of 360 payments. So the principal and interest at this given scenario is going to be 2212. And then homeowners insurance is going to be something that you can shop for. We can help you shop for once the home
Okay.
is closed. And generally, what we're seeing is it's probably going to be between, 70 to 150. I like to be conservative so you guys aren't scared or
Right.
surprised later on. So I put
Yeah.
it at
Okay.
150.
Okay.
Property taxes, they're not going to be the same as what they currently are because the home will be assessed now that it has a property on it. So again, it's probably going to be about 70 to 150. So I second 120 because it's in Wheatfield, so it might be a little less.
Okay. Okay.
And then mortgage insurance is when you have less than 20% equity in the home. So for example, let's say you guys build the home for 350, and do you have an idea? Maybe you've talked about this, maybe you haven't, of how much the property might be valued at once the property is finished.
No, I'm not sure.
Mm-mm. Yeah,
Like,
especially where you don't know, what degree you guys want to go. So let's just say it values at, let's say 400. So that means you're gonna pay the builder and with all the interest and everything else about $350,000. But when the appraiser comes out, he's like, this home looks great. It's from recent purchases in the area, it might be 400,000.
hmm
So if um if it comes back showing that you have at least 20% equity in the home, then you wouldn't have to have mortgage insurance. If you
Okay.
have less than 20% more, less than 20% equity in the home, then you'd have to get mortgage insurance.
Okay.
Okay. So at just for an idea, that would be um point oh all right, Kellen, what are you doing? Let's see, 80. Oh, that's why. Okay. So if we were at, yeah, this is not good recording me and trying to do math at the same time in front of somebody. So I'll get you that number, but
Okay. Well, when it comes
um
to Excel too, I'm not good at that.
yeah. So about 445 to 450 would make it so you have 20% equity in the
Okay.
property, so you wouldn't have to get mortgage insurance. So if it let's just say it came appraised at 400,000, so you wouldn't have quite 20% equity, then mortgage insurance is something we would help you shop for at that time. It's probably going to be about anywhere again from like 70 to 150 bucks. So I'm just
Yeah.
going to say 120, and there's no HOA in Wheatfields as far as I know.
No, I don't believe so.
So total monthly payment would be about 2,600. So about 600 bucks more than what you guys are hoping for, right?
Yeah.
So a couple ways to lower that monthly payment. That's going to be first and foremost is a lower loan amount. And whenever, just a good rule of thumb, for every $10,000 financed into your loan, it's about $70 on your monthly payment.
Okay.
So if let's just drop this drastically, we'll say 275. So that would drop your monthly payment to about 2128. And again, it's kind of hard because taxes are uncertain along with insurance and mortgage insurance.
Right.
But we can try to put some more rough numbers together for you. Um,
Okay.
but the other option for lowering your monthly payment, let's say this is 350 still, is if rates come down, or you can buy your interest rate down. So if I'll go and show you how rates work real quick. And if you're rewatching this, I hope you have it on 2 times speed with popcorn because it'll take me a second just to fire this up. So we're gonna say 350 for the loan amount, and then we'll say maybe the home appraises for 400,000. And it's gonna be a rate and term refinance. And what do we say? 720 for the credit score, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then first time home buyers, yes. Then we're looking in Gila County on a conventional loan. Then we'll go ahead. And so what's happening now? It's submitting your information to 30 different investors or banks that we shop from every day. And so this will show us who's most competitively priced. So when we're looking at interest rates, there's an interest rate for your scenario that's going to be at no cost, and that's called par. And so just as of today, no cost would be about 7.125%. And that's at no cost to you. But you can see there's all these other lower interest rates, right? Like all the way down to 3%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the way to get that is to pay money or points. It's basically money that you pay to lower the interest rate. And it's not something I necessarily recommend. But if you're in a pickle and you need to, then it's an option. So, for example, to get right now your scenario to 6%, then your total cost in points. So that's aside from closing costs. That's not like your down payment or anything, would be an additional $12,058.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's pretty hefty.
Yeah.
And you'd only be saving. So this is the principal and interest. You'd be saving about, I guess, like 270 bucks or something a month. So to pay 12 grand to save 250 bucks a month, we could do the math on it, but it's not going to be a killer savings by any means. So
Okay.
other ways to get a better interest rate are going to be increasing your credit score, which it's in a good position, but I'm just going to show you side by side of what this looks like. If we stuck in maybe like a 7 I'll just stick in 760. And the good thing is you've got several months to be working, boost your credit a little bit.
Yeah.
So 760, we'll say. And then you can see that the cost or the rate without any cost is going to drop by almost 0.5% to like we could probably get you the 6.624% at no cost.
Okay.
So from 7.125 to 6.624. So you can see how that credit score is going to change drastically
Right.
how your interest rates are priced. And again, that's not anything we lock in like right now. That's once the build is done. So you've got time. That's the good.
Okay. What's ways we can improve it?
Yeah. So ways that let me pull up your credit score and we'll put together some options as well. Where did that go? So this guy, yeah. Yeah, I'll put together some options and I'll send those over to you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All right. And then the other option, the other way to lower that monthly payment is if and you don't have full control over this, but I'm just going to show you what difference it makes if the home appraises for a bit more than your loan amount. So let's say you spend $350,000 on it and it appraises for 450. So you're not going to have private mortgage insurance because that gives you 20% equity in the home. So let's just look at this difference here. So your mortgage insurance would drop off, and then your interest rate would be right around like 6.75 or 6.624. So
Okay.
the biggest thing there is that if we're just comparing apples to apples, is you would not have this mortgage insurance anymore.
Right.
So
Which that would be nice.
the next thing as you're going to talk about is what game plan we want to put together so that your monthly payment is going to be in that $2,000 range.
Mm-hmm.
What questions do you have before we dive into that?
Mm, I don't think any.
No, I don't have nothing right now.
Mm-mm.
Okay. So the good news is, like I said, with your debt to income ratio, you guys are very well qualified for this higher payment around $2,600. But personally, that's not what you guys are wanting to pay. So to get it to that $2,000 mark, we can lower the interest rate, like I mentioned, or lower the loan amount.
Okay.
So just to look at, we'll just assume that you've got the mortgage insurance, and we will look at first lowering the loan amount. So if you just wanted to lower the loan amount, let's stick in 250. So that would put you about $2,000 a month, right?
Yeah.
And again, these things can fluctuate, so that could have some wiggle room. So, maybe 250, 260-ish would put you right around there from these estimated numbers.
Okay.
The other option is going to be to lower the interest rate. So if we were let's go back to here, and we're going to stick back in the 720 credit score. And we'll change this back to that. So we'll just look at what the rate would cost to get this below $2,000. And so
It'd
I'll
probably
just,
be a lot.
yeah, it's probably going to be a lot. I'll just say, yeah, it's going to be probably like a butt ton. This is probably the exact amount it's going to be. So like 4% would be the interest rate to get your monthly payment about $2,000 with these estimated numbers, right?
Okay.
So with the current scenario, that would just cost $53,000.
Lovely.
So I wouldn't recommend that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe some sweet spot in the middle though of, again, I don't necessarily recommend buying the rate down, but let's say you guys maybe wanted to get the rate down, use 10 grand to buy it to 6.125, and then we'll say the loan amount of 300,000. So let's see, is 285. So yeah, it will, where are we going? 270. Okay. So you could do a combination of buying the rate down with like 10 grand and lowering the loan amount to about 270, but that's pretty much the same as this. If you're at 260, it's, 10 grand apart.
Yeah.
So what scenarios? I know this is kind of like, man, that's not really what we're looking for a monthly payment, but better to talk about walk through now than
Right.
once you guys are ready to move in.
Well, I mean, it makes me happy to know that even at like the 350, we're still at that like I think it was like 30% of our
Right.
debt to
Debt to
income.
income ratio.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So, which, because I was thinking at like if we stayed at like 2000 a month, that would be like a significant amount, but I didn't know like percentage wise what that looked at like.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right. Yeah. And that's a really good point, especially you guys don't have a ton of debt, monthly debt in your name. And so with the monthly debt calculated and the total monthly payment, all of that together is about 32% of your total income. And
okay.
that's a pretty good position to be for where your total debts are, because then you've got, again, this is your gross income, but it's not taken into consideration any overtime or bonus or anything like that, what
Yeah.
you guys are racking in. So this is being pretty conservative. If we did add in that, then you'd probably have, I don't know, maybe another at least $1,000 a month, would you say? And so that lowers your um, ratios by about 3%. So yeah, you're in a good position financially, and then at least to get, if we did want to stay around that $2,000 mark with current interest rates, assuming nothing changes and going off of these estimated numbers, it'd be about 260 for a total loan amount.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Yeah, what other thoughts, questions, jokes you guys have
Yeah.
for me?
Um,
No,
I
I mean,
don't
I'd be comfortable paying that. I feel like we could do that.
yeah.
Like saying that the interest rates don't skyrocket for some reason, but
Right.
There's
I feel
big
like,
amount, but
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
And who knows, like you said, maybe something happens crazy with the interest rates, but the National Association for Realtors and the Mortgage Back Association, basically all the large conglomerations are anticipating that rates are going to keep coming down.
that
So again,
would be awesome.
cross everything you have.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Well, that's the basic premise for now. So I'll put you guys in touch with the construction loan officer at Mount America, Taylor Squires. He's a great guy, and he'll walk you through as far as what interest rates look like, how the interest accumulation works, and yeah, if you guys want to put that payment on the end of the loan, or if you want to pay it as you go, and that way we can get the ball rolling whenever you get the official green light for the property.
Okay. Awesome.
Would you happen to know like how much closing costs and everything would be,
Yeah,
the fees?
yeah. And I usually walk through that, but since we're so far out, I was gonna fire hose you another time, but let me walk
Oh,
you.
sorry.
No, this is great. I usually do this, so I have it right here. So there's four different portions when it comes to your closing costs. There's going to be your third party fees. That's the spread section. The biggest portion of that is going to be your title fees. And this is going to be on a sliding scale of how much your loan is, and as well as I know they have some different fees with being a new build because there's different assessments they need to do, whatnot. So I'm just gonna, this is just a template I had from a previous client that's doing a refinance. So since it's a bill, I'm just gonna say 1,600 for now. And then there's the appraisal. So all these other fees are gonna be third party fees.
Okay.
Uh, so there's the appraisal, it's about 550, appraisal management fee, a flood certificate fee. Do you know, is your guys' property in a flood zone?
No.
No.
Okay. And then tax services, basically transferring stuff over into the county. And then credit report up to $195. And then if the appraiser goes out and the home isn't quite finished, then they'll need to go back out once it is finished. And that's usually about $200. But if it's not needed, then that just drops off. And our processing and underwriting fee is 1535. So that's, you guys don't pay me anything. That just comes to our company. That's our one flat fee.
Okay.
And then homeowner insurance, that's collected up front for 12 months. So this next section, so this is the cost for the loan, and then these are just prepaid items. So they're not fees, they're just things that you're paying up front.
Okay.
Um, so assuming homeowner insurance is 150 a month for 12 months, that's that cost. And then they usually, for your escrow account, have you guys heard of escrow? Are you familiar with that term?
I've heard it, but I'm
Yeah,
not
not
super familiar.
really.
So it's basically a bank account for your taxes and your homeowner's insurance. Because taxes are paid every 6 months. And so instead of having you pay a big chunk of money every 6 months, um, you pay your taxes monthly into your escrow account, and then your escrow account will pay for your taxes each six
Okay.
months. And same thing with your homeowner's insurance.
Okay.
So they put a little cushion in the escrow account. Again, it's not a fee, but just in case your taxes or insurance increase, you've got flexibility for your escrow, that you're not late on a payment because you're $30 short because your homeowner insurance went up.
Right.
So they usually collect like 6 months and then maybe an extra 2 months for homeowner insurance. So total for everything, so all the third party fees and then the prepaid items, probably around $7,000. Again, it's
Okay.
gonna vary. Like if your home insurance is, maybe $100 a month, then that's gonna be a big shift, big swing in the costs. And same thing
Yeah.
with taxes. Um, and we're actually gonna get kicked off here in a second on my free Zoom plan, so we can just hop back on, and we can just wrap up real quick.
Okay.
Before we get cut off, any questions on that?
I don't
No.
think so. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it, man.
Okay, yeah, I'll just hop back on.
Okay.
Okay.